Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and there's a lot of different coverage on YouTube where this changing world is going, and blockchain is no exception. Sometimes content leans towards regulations, sometimes the use of the technology, whether it be for payments or gaming, even the technical analysis to find the trends, risks, and opportunities. This video is about the builders seizing adoption through seamlessly moving between the XRP ledger, the Futureverse network, the door to smart contracts with Zahao and the EVM sidechains through a bridge. This is Shen, and he's a sponsor to the XRP Wave of Innovation Conference in March, which will take place in Australia on the Gold Coast. And he's going to be there in person showcasing his projects. Why does this matter? Well, it matters because the use of the digital asset is what drives value. If you own digital assets, this video is for you. Have a listen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shen. I've been building on the XRPL since 2021 now, and I run 3 different projects. Zeron, which is a released NFT integrated game, which uses XRPL NFTs to tokenize in-game assets. It started off as a passion project of myself and a couple of other developers who we all have a really strong passion and hobby for creature collecting Pokemon style games. And we wanted to launch something that was also really accessible to players, because we felt that a lot of Web3 games were very daunting for players who did not have any sort of prior gaming experience, right? So what we did is we took a lot of the concepts from a depreciated Pokemon game called Pokemon Jewel, which was a mobile-based Pokemon game. It got cancelled in 2018 or 2019, but it had this really interesting mechanism, which was a auto battling mechanism, which allowed that each Pokemon had different percentages of moves, and within their own gameplay mechanisms, those moves would come out automatically based on the percentages. And so we took this core concept and applied it to the Zeron game, and so we created a bunch of different game modes, all within Discord. And what it does is it's essentially an auto battler for people they're able to collect these Zeron creatures, which are represented by XRPL NFTs. And then they're able to battle them against both AI opponents and each other. And the strategy for players is how they set up and build their teams, and then they're able to battle and play against each other at any time through Discord, right? And so it comes out as sort of like a text-based battling game. The other day, we broke into the top 3 all-time collections on Cafe with volume, and we've seen a lot of success in terms of player-based growth, and a lot of players were from a non-gaming background came and joined in. We've been working closely with replies and their team in terms of developing Zeron. We've also been talking with some really exciting other projects, such as the Futureverse team, who we're really excited to sort of move Zeron into a more multi-chain ecosystem where players are able to play from root network, from XRPL mainnet, from EVM sidechain, all seamlessly with each other. And I think people will really take note of, how powerful the root network can be for the XRPL and XRPL projects. Yeah. Majority of XRP platforms have no multilingual, mechanisms or capabilities. It's either you speak English or you can't participate, and there's no way that we're going to be able to onboard those communities like that. So the gaming is the perfect avenue to get all of these XRP holders in Japan and Korea to actually participate on the XRPL. And once we launch the web app in late Jan, we're going to start doing like very, very targeted marketing campaigns to these communities in their native languages, because they'll be able to play the game completely in their native language as well. And essentially, it's Japan and Korea are the 2 markets that we've got people we're working with right now to enter those sort of areas. And we've already built up, pretty decent sized Japanese community so far for Zeron, which has been great. We also got accepted into the XRPL grants Wave 6 just recently. And so what we're doing with this funding is we're shifting the game from Discord, and we're actually building out an entire web app for the game. So what this means is that Discord will no longer be a text-based game through Discord. We're taking the same mechanics and gameplay, but we're building it out into a card-based battler similar to games like Hearthstone or Legends of Runeterra, if people have heard of those. It'll really enhance a lot of the gameplay functionality, because right now players are, if you're building a deck or you're adding all these different Zertmon into your team, whatever, it's taking you, you're writing an entire command in Discord to be able to do this. So we're moving over to an ecosystem where people are able to just drag and drop cards. And I also run StakeX, which we are now developing a new platform on the EVM sidechain called Serpent Swap, which is a DEX and NFT AMM on the XRPL EVM sidechain. Well, that integrates XRPL NFTs to tokenize in-game assets. And again, we've been working with a few different companies, such as companies like Chains Atlas, which allow us to integrate a multi-chain ecosystem and have multiple different chains essentially running within the same DApp or game. Essentially, we saw there was lack of any sort of DeFi on the XRPL in 2022. We didn't even have NFTs at that point. It was still IOU tokens for everything. And so the lack of DeFi, mainly came from the lack of smart contract functionality on the mainnet. However, what we did was we created a platform which essentially on a front end acted like a smart contract staking platform. However, on the back end, it fit within the technical limitations of the XRPL mainnet. So essentially, we became an autonomous distribution mechanism for projects to come to us and distribute their tokens to other projects in a proportional manner to their holders based on their holdings of NFTs or tokens and things like that. As we've gotten, over the last year, we've realized that this mechanism on the mainnet is not something that's long-term sustainable as a DeFi project. And so that's where we've looked to the XRPL EVM sidechain being launched by Persist, because this allows us to integrate XRPL-based assets into an EVM smart contract environment. And so that's really exciting for DeFi, obviously. And so we're building a platform called Serpent Swap, which is a DEX, so very similar to what you'd find on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, but for XRP and XRPL based assets, and also an NFT AMM, which allows people to buy and sell NFTs into liquidity pools. This is something that is really exciting to me, as I'm a big part of the NFT community. And one of the biggest issues with NFTs on the XRPL is a lack of liquidity. And so that makes buying an NFT on the XRPL quite unattractive, because you're always worried that, will there even be a buyer to be able to buy this, even if it has value, right? What a liquidity pool means is that you can liquidity pool NFTs, which then and this pool will hold a equal amount, at first at least, an equal amount of NFTs and token, and it then algorithmically buys and sells those NFTs based on the balance that are in there. So if people are selling lots of NFTs into there, the pool then sells the NFTs for cheaper, and vice versa. What is really exciting about this is it means that someone can buy an NFT on the XRPL, and they know that at any time they want, they can sell it to that liquidity pool. They don't have to wait for a buyer. They don't have to know that someone else is going to be willing to buy it at their price, because they know they can look at the liquidity pool before they even buy the NFT and know that if I want, I can exit my liquidity of this NFT at any time for this price. And I think that it's a really cool mechanism for low liquidity NFT environments like the XRPL. And it's also an exciting technology that is really still very much in development and growth stage on even chains like Ethereum. You see platforms like SudoSwap and Caviar Finance doing it, but it's very few and far between right now. So that's something that I'm really excited, because I think the XRPL will help a lot with that sort of technology. And SudoSwap and things, they suffer from very high gas fees, very high fees, and it's difficult and complex to use. So we're trying to take those sort of mechanisms and really perfect it on the XRPL EVM sidechain. We've been working closely with a couple of other projects who are focusing on the EVM, such as XRP Cafe and Crossmark, and we're really focusing on trying to create a seamless, onboarding experience for people to move, between the mainnet and the sidechain, with a wallet, a marketplace, a DEX, all of that, because I think it's that onboarding experience. And as you were saying to me earlier, bridges are very scary and they're very daunting, right? A lot of things have gone wrong with them in the past, so it'll be our focus to try and make that process as easy and understandable for people as possible. Yeah. We want all of the XRP that's being held dormantly on centralized exchanges you don't have to hold it there. And you know, a lot of people hold it there because these centralized exchanges will offer them, you know, 2%, 3%, 4%, or whatever on the XRP. But you know, in reality, we want to create a way that people can still maintain full self-custody of their XRP, and they can still participate in earning and yielding mechanisms, which obviously just is not possible on the mainnet right now. So I run 2 nodes on the XRPL mainnet already, and yeah, we'll be running one on the EVM sidechain. All of the exciting new sort of technology that'll be on, you know, sidechains, and you know, the security and stability that'll be on the mainnet. But if we can create a really nice ecosystem that allows users to move between them all, you know, move between Zahao, mainnet, EVM, like all really easily, like, yeah, that's perfect, right? I don't think it takes away from the XRPL to have further multi-chain integration, and I think it really brings a lot and will highlight, you know, the benefits of the XRPL, and I think all of crypto is really moving into a multi-chain sort of ethos, right? So that's the part of the platform that I'm most excited about. I also run Escape NFT, which is a Unity-based cross-platform pixel-style dungeon crawler, which is be playable on both mobile devices and desktops, of you know, with the ethos of accessibility and being able to play it on very low-end devices. For Escape NFT, that was actually the very first project which I launched on the XRPL in 2021, and we're essentially creating a pixel-style MMO. So those are games where massively multiplayer online games where everyone can play together pretty much, and we have certain social hubs where everyone is able to interact and play with each other, and then you're able to go into the different zones of the games to play and battle creatures and things like that, with up to 4 other players. It's all pixel style, and we chose this because we wanted players to be able to play on a very low-end device. We didn't want hardware to be a issue in accessibility, right? Because I think that is what troubles a lot of Web3 games these days, is that, you know, it might look really amazing and fancy and awesome, but when you cut out everyone who doesn't have like the hardware or the knowledge to be able to, you know, participate, you're cutting out so many people. Yeah, I've been having a lot of conversations with the Futureverse team, and you know, we're really excited by what they're doing, and you know, vice versa. So yeah, I'm very keen to be working with them as well. I'm really excited about what the Futureverse team are doing, and like, yeah, things like altered state machine and stuff. I've been a fan of that since long before I even started building projects. You know, I think it's like such an incredible way to use NFTs. So yeah, I'm just stoked that they've, you know, on a technical level, that they're so integrated with the XRPL, because it means that I get to work with them, you know. So yeah. I'm really excited for the XRPL to start to take note of what they're doing a little bit more, you know. And it'll help grow the XRPL as well, you know, because they utilize it, right? They utilize XRP, they utilize the XRPL technology. Like, it's not like they're taking away from the ecosystem at all, you know. And so I think we'll see, you know, a lot of platforms and projects sort of follow suit in what we're doing, in terms of, you know, creating multi-chain ecosystems between, you know, root network, mainnet, EVM sidechains, or how, and because you know, it's one of the things where everyone's boats sail higher, right? If we start doing that. So as a builder, I think that, you know, I contribute one of the biggest reasons why the XRPL has such low participation in comparison to the amount of holders is because of this idea that's perpetuated that, like, you hold this XRP, you hold it away, and then, you know, one day it'll be worth $10,000 each one, right? The problem is that no one is using their XRP, and like, that's how did Ethereum grow? How did BNB grow? How did Solana grow? Because people were using the ecosystem, you know, over and over again with the token, right? So you know, we're not going to see that sort of increase and you know, even increase in price on XRP until people are actively using it, until there's a reason to use that XRP, right?